Calories play a part, and a calorie reduction has to occur for a significant amount of weight loss to occur. However, simply thinking that calories in and calories out, meaning eat less and move more, to think that it's just as simple as that is a major mistake. Because anytime that we calorie restrict, which is required to lose weight, if we calorie restrict, but we have frequent meals, okay, the meal frequencies while you're calorie restricting, now listen, this is the most important thing. The meal frequency when you are calorie restricting is what is destroying your metabolism. So that over the course of months, all right, your metabolism slows down when you are calorie restricting, okay, and eating frequent meals. The only way that you can calorie restrict, now I don't care, I'm a keto guy. I don't care if you're using a low fat, high carb diet, doesn't matter, okay? Studies have shown that over 1 year, the low carb, high fat, or the traditional higher carb, low fat diet, they have similar benefits, but they both fail within a year because the calorie restriction is done with frequent meal frequencies, okay? Telling your body that there's no food scarcity. Therefore, because food is not scarce, that's how the body is interpreting the frequent meals, it allows the metabolism to slow down, okay? Because the body won't always allow a deficit, okay? The metabolism here, you feed a little bit less calories, all right? Now you're in a deficit. You might be losing some weight, but because the body isn't in fear of any famine, it says, oh, well, the bugger is feeding me less, but quite often, so I can afford to bring down my metabolism. However, if you are calorie restricting, all right, but you are doing it with intermittent fasting, with alternate day fasting, okay, what it is doing is putting you in a fasted state where the body anticipates a possible food scarcity in the coming days. Therefore, the pathway that it uses, a self-regulated fasting pathway, does not allow your metabolism to slow down, because human beings used to be in fasts and famines, all right, in fed states, okay, and a long time sometimes because of food scarcity in a fasted state. Therefore, you could imagine that if every time human beings early on were having trouble finding food, and every time that, okay, reduced their metabolism, they would die, okay? So when you have a lot of fat on you, okay, that you wish to lose, the best way to lose it is choose whatever friggin' diet you want, but the key is fasting, okay? You have to fit all of your food that is now calorie restricted in a smaller window. You have to try and stretch it. You have to definitely never eat in the morning if you're not hungry. Stretch out that fast. That's what's going to send you into a mode of that allows you to lose weight. However, it allows you to lose weight while maintaining your metabolism. This is what they're not telling us. This is what Weight Watchers and stuff does not want you guys to know. Okay, if they tell you to fast while doing their plan, they know that if you know the secret about maintaining your metabolism, which is actually fasting, then once you go to Weight Watchers once, that's it, it's finished. Or if you know about fasting, you don't even ever go to Weight Watchers. So all of these diets are made for short-term weight loss, all right, by simple calorie restriction, but you end up thinking everything's great over the year, and then after it fails, you go on a long period of time getting fatter, and then you get the motivation to try again, never realizing it's a vicious circle. It's really sad, actually. It's super mean to be doing this to people. All the effort that they're putting in to lose weight, the willpower, and they can last sometimes years, but they fail every after a year or two. And it has nothing to do with them screwing up. It has to be that a lie has been told. It's very simple. Just use our imaginations. Humans fasted a lot unwillingly, okay? Therefore, the body is made to maintain itself. The metabolism, the hormones are all optimized to protect you when there's no food, to maintain muscle, to maintain cognition, to maintain strength and stamina, okay? During a fasted state, you will experience heightened performance, not a reduction. Now, the only time that you will, what I find is it's best to do a ketogenic or a low carb diet because of the appetite control. A high carbohydrate diet, it's just a fact that you need frequent meals, and that if you overshoot with your carbohydrate load, then your insulin is spikes and your sugar returns to below normal, making you hungry. It's a lot trickier. When I was eating carbs, even if they were healthy, they still maintained maintained my hunger. And forget about it. Like 16 hours, I was in ketosis for quite some time, and I cheated and I was out of ketosis. I had the hardest time. The next day I had to eat keto, but I had to eat breakfast. I was hungry, and then it made me slip up the coming days 2-3 times. I had the hardest time, and I was laughing, doing my 3-day fast, doing my 5-day fast, people going like, that's insane, I don't understand. And then after I got out of ketosis, and I was like, okay, yeah, it is pretty much impossible. I can see why carbers think that it's insane, and probably don't even believe me that I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So if you're going to do intermittent fasting, I suggest that by lowering carbs, increasing fat, not protein, just eat normal amounts of protein, you're going to satiate yourself. There's a better leptin and hormonal response. Carbs really play with your hormones. Therefore, if you wish to get the benefits of weight loss, it's not that keto is necessarily better. It's slightly better, but low fat is the same. It's just that you can do this over the year, okay, without feeling hungry. That's the thing, is that the low fat is not satiating. Guys, we're made of fat, protein, and cholesterol. It just makes sense that most of our macros should be proteins and fat. It doesn't really have to be self-regulated. You have to go out of your way on purpose to get higher protein, but it's the fat. If you increase the fat, okay, you're supplying fat and fuel to your body. Your brain is 60% fat. It's actually 20% cholesterol. Do you think that the brain, which is more than half fat, which is the most important and the most selfish and demanding organ, do you think that it's smart to be on a low-fat diet? Do you think that carbohydrates is giving building blocks to any part of your body? Carbohydrates do not form any structure. They're strictly fuel. It makes zero sense to not take into consideration the amount of fuel needed daily and just say consume 60%. Reduce the fat, which is 60% of your brain, which is part of every cell membrane, which is part of every single hormone, which is a fuel that can be used as a primary fuel. You know, when you're eating fat, okay, there's a reason why in the Bible they killed the fatted calf. But to lower such an important macronutrient, okay, and to say that saturated fat and animal fat is poisonous, maybe our meat supply is poisoned because it's full of omega-6, because they're feeding them instead of grass something else that's obviously gonna change how healthy the animals are when they're not eating a normal diet. Fat is healthy. Okay, humans, okay, saturated animal fat is actually the best fat that we can use to rebuild our body. And then the omega-6 go up into your brain and form inflammatory molecules. We are fat and meat dudes, okay? So dudes and dudettes, we are fat and meat, okay? Therefore, it makes sense if you want to supply new material to your body that you eat mostly fat, mostly meat, And then in the rest, if you wish to use carbohydrates, you can use as fuel. But you don't have to. There's no essential carbohydrate. Therefore, you can use fat as a primary fuel. There is zero evidence, not one person scientifically in any medical journal can say that there's something innately unhealthy with being in mild nutritional ketosis for prolonged periods of time. Boom, that's it.